So, what's one challenge or shift you're currently navigating within the space that you specifically work in or across the sector? Is there an approach or support that you think would be helpful?
We're just responding to the reality of how society is changing and how the needs of the people we serve are changing. Because of that, I think it's really important for organizations to really get clear on their identity, right? So we talk a lot in our sector about everyone having their vision, mission, and values. But if we're honest with ourselves and one another, it's very possible to find a similar organization working on a similar cause to yours with very similar vision, mission, and values. What starts to get different is what is the role we play as an organization? Like, what's the specific way we show up here? And what does that mean for what we will do and won't do going forward? The reason why that matters is it is really easy to get burned out and exhausted by trying to do all the things and be everything to everyone. But when we're clear on our identity, it both lets us know what we're great at and where we want to focus our energy, and it helps us know where should we partner. Where should we actually say, this belongs to this other organization who works in our space? It makes it easier, I think, to build community because we're not all trying to do all parts of the work. We're saying, actually, this organization has an amazing advocacy operation, and we want to make sure that, if there are coalitions being built, that they're at the table or leading that charge because they have those capabilities in-house. Whereas this organization may be great at doing on-the-ground, face-to-face work with the community we're serving. They may be great at hosting real conversations, at gathering useful information about what the community needs. And over here, this organization might be great at funding research or at putting more investment into bigger projects because they have that kind of funding structure, right? They might be a community foundation or something like that, where when everyone knows the role they play, it's a lot easier to work together as a team, right? Just like a sports team, when we know what position we're in, we know how to do well in that position. And I think from a mindset perspective, going from that feeling of being alone and having to be all things to everyone to instead being in this position where we say, I can play my position on the team really well, that opens up the kinds of conversations that we might not have had before with other nonprofit organizations, with foundations, with corporations who might be interested, right, in building that same kind of vision that we have. And it lets us use our energy a little bit more effectively too, rather than continuing to think we need to do the same thing that everyone else is doing. Instead, we can say, okay, but what is the most important use of our time and energy? And I think that's going to be especially important as we keep moving forward over the next few years.